Namaskar. Welcome to today's meditation sitting. This is class number 385 in the Community for Immunity that we set up into motion about 2 months ago during the times of this coronavirus pandemic. And through these classes, we've had an opportunity to get to know each other and build a community together. So I appreciate everyone coming together and participating in this community. Thank you. My name is Gorakh. My spiritual name is Ekras Gorakh. And today's sitting is one involving an empty cup. This is a repeat of the sitting we did 2 days ago. So if you already got your nirvana on Thursday, then welcome back. And if you didn't, welcome again. Today, we're going to need an empty cup. You're going to sit in a quiet place at home and sit with an empty cup. So if you don't have a cup, please go get it right now. We're about to begin in another minute or so. Please sit. Please sit in any comfortable posture. Sitting on a chair if you're able to sit on a chair. Sitting on a bed if you're sitting on a bed. And sitting on the floor on a soft cushion mat. Sitting in any comfortable posture. All that's required is that you keep your back straight. Your back, neck, and head in a straight line. Close your eyes gently. Relax the expression on the face. Relax your shoulders. Relax your belly. Bring your attention into the belly. As you breathe in, let the belly expand. As you breathe out, let the belly return back. Building a continuous, gentle rhythm. Breathing into the belly, let the belly expand. Exhaling, returning back. Breathing into the belly, let the belly expand. Exhaling, just let go. As you exhale, feel a wave of relief sweep through the body. Breathing into the belly and breathing out, simply letting go. Letting go of all your thoughts. Letting go of all your preoccupations. Breathing into the belly and breathing out, simply let go, let go, let go. Bring the palms together at the heart center, pressing the palms together gently. Gently pressing the fingers together and gently touching the back of the thumbs into the chest. Bring your attention to the hollow space between the palms. We're going to chant Om 3 times and then the opening prayer Sahana Bhavatu. Sahanau bhunaktu sahaviryam karavavahai tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Bring your palms to your face, covering your face, and then blinking, open your eyes and pull your palms back like an open book. Namaskar. You can blink your eyes open. I have some instructions to give you, and then we will get into today's sitting. Today's sitting is part of a series of meditations I designed for the modern environment. But I wanted to go back in time and find something authentic and true to the tradition, not something I made up, but something that draws itself from tradition and has the same effect on people today as it might have had way back when. These meditations, I call them living meditations. They're available online. And they're designed for the modern professional, because people who want to meditate often say that they don't have time in their busy schedule to meditate. And so these were designed for those spaces in the middle of your day. You might be sitting on a train to your commute station. So if you're in a subway and you're commuting, there is a meditation for that. If you're back from work in the evening, there's a meditation for that. If it's a sunny day, you're outside and you're looking at clear blue skies, there's a meditation for that. And this particular meditation is my favorite because it involves the coffee break. When you go out for coffee, if you have a coffee break, say at 11 o'clock and 3 o'clock, you don't really want the coffee. You just want the break. And so you can use the same time of 20 minutes to sit and stare into an empty cup. So that's what this meditation is about. There are two specific Tantra techniques that are used in this meditation, as you'll see, and I'll describe it more at the end so that I don't bore you with details up front. Now, I did want to show you my cup. This is a beautiful cup. It's a Birds of Australia cup. I went to Australia for a business visit about 10 years ago, and I just walked into a departmental store and I saw these cups, really beautiful coffee cups, and I bought them. And we really liked them so much that we went back. Next time I went, I bought some more, and then later I had my cousin sister ship some more coffee cups. This has beautiful birds. It's my favorite cup, one of my favorite cups. But here's the thing, the story of the cup that I told you doesn't tell you what the cup does for me. The cup carries value, of course, because I bought it in a particular place with a particular mood, but it's useful because it has empty space inside, right? If it didn't have empty space, it's just a showpiece, right? So this empty space or nothing is more often the more valuable part of every commercial transaction. So in the Taoist system, the Taoist Lao Tzu, who's the original Taoist, he said, and I quote, "We shape the clay into a pot, but it is the emptiness inside that holds whatever we want," end quote. So the thing that we see, this cup, isn't the thing that we actually use. It's the same for houses, it's the same for objects, it's the same for all the material things that you see and buy and use. It isn't often the thing that you see that gives its value. Often it's the unseen that gives the object its meaning. And so today's meditation is on emptiness and form. Form as in this structure, emptiness is the space inside. This also has parallels within the Hindu tradition, where we often look at our own individualized selves, and we call it ghatakasha, in the sense that it's reflected space. It's space reflected through a cup or a clay pot. And so there is Parameshwar, which is the supreme being, and reflected through us is the Supreme Being. So, but we feel like we're complete in ourselves, but we are really reflecting the power and potency of the Supreme Being. And so it has very delicious comparisons even in the Hindu tradition. This particular technique is part of 112 Tantra techniques taught by Shivji to his wife Devi, and she's sitting on his lap and she asks him a question, which is, what is this wonder-filled universe that I see around me, and who centers the universal wheel? So she's asking about what makes everything work. And Shivji's answer to that is not an answer. He doesn't give a question and answer kind of answer. He lays out technique after technique after technique, 112 techniques to find the answer to those questions. And so that's the Vigyan Bhairav Tantra, which is the book that this technique is from. And within that, there are a couple of techniques where we're going to be exploring in today's sitting. Now, in this sitting, we're not going to be looking at hard objects. We're not going to be using hard eyes. We're going to be softening our gaze. That's really important. So when you look at something, you're not looking at it as if you're going to stare at it and burn it with your eyes. You're looking at it with very soft gaze. You're looking at it in a way that your gaze is filled with love. And when you soften the gaze, you begin to see the inner meaning itself you're going to see in today's sitting. And then when you go back from your coffee break, you see how things aren't always as they appear. The hard objects, the hard problems often hide very obviously the softer intuition behind the thing. And so every intuitive person knows this, that they have to look at things differently in order to get to the core of those things. And that's what we're going to build, this ability to intuitively see something that isn't obvious, but it's there. All right, more theory at the end. I'll guide you through this sitting, and we'll try to keep it for 20 minutes from the time we begin. You will need a quiet spot in your house right now, but outside when you're doing it on your own. You're going to sit comfortably. We won't be chanting, so you don't need to be worried about bothering your colleagues or your friends or your neighbors. You're just going to sit in a place where you can sit with a coffee cup. Find a place that does not have direct sunshine because you're going to be disrupted. Find a place that does not have wind because again, you're going to be bothered. Just a comfortable place where you can sit with an empty coffee cup. Now it's better if you have a ceramic cup with hot water in it because you can touch it and feel it. But if you can't find one, just go to your coffee shop, ask for a paper cup, and head on outside and proceed to the sitting. Now in this sitting, we're reaching for a place of active relaxation. The body, the breath, and the mind will be relaxed. And our awareness will learn to see things that aren't there. Aren't always visible in the bright light of day. But they're always there if we see with soft eyes. All right, let us begin. Please sit comfortably and close your eyes. Please sit in any comfortable position with your back straight but not stiff. Your feet firmly planted on the floor or sitting cross-legged. Hands either in your lap or your thighs. If you still have water in your cup, you should drain it by drinking it and continue to hold the still warm cup with both hands. The back is straight but not stiff. The eyes are gently closed. The expression on the face is relaxed. Let's relax the body first. Bring your attention all the way down to the contact between the body and the cushion below. Feel the weight of the body pressing into the floor. Through the hips and the thighs, the weight is being supported. We're looking for our center. Let's adjust the torso by leaning forward just a little. Keep the attention below. Observe how the weight shifts away from the hips to the thighs. Come back to the center. Lean back just a little, observing the weight has shifted away from the thighs to the hips. Come back to the center. Lean to the left. Get used to the weight shifting, and now lean to the right. Come back to the center. Use your intuitive insight to find your center, where the weight is equally distributed between the left and the right, the hips and the thighs. Bring your attention up the spine. Now pull the shoulders all the way up to the ears and let go suddenly. Let's do it again. Pulling the shoulders all the way up the ears and then letting go suddenly. And one more time. Relax. Let the belly relax completely, moving, swaying gently with every incoming breath, expanding out, and then returning back as you exhale. The internal organs in the abdomen are relaxed. The shoulders are relaxed. The upper arms are relaxed. Elbows are relaxed. The forearms are relaxed. The hands are relaxed. Bring your attention up to your neck. We're going to adjust the head, finding a place where the neck holds no tension. As you exhale, bring the chin into the chest. As you inhale, take the nose to the ceiling. Come back to the center. Tilt your head to the left. Tilt your head to the right. Come back to the center. Turn your head to the left. Turn your head to the right. Come back to the center. Now point your nose a little above the horizon line. The back of the head shifting down a little. Now the head is gently resting on the neck, allowing the neck muscles to relax. Relax your chin. Relax your lower jaw. Let the tongue become heavy and fall into the mouth. Relax your tongue. Relax your upper jaw. Relax all the muscles in the face. Let the eyes sink in to their sockets. Relax the eyes. Relax. Relax all the muscles on your face. Bring a gentle smile on your face and see how that feels. Relax. The body is relaxed. Now, gently turn your attention to the breath. Don't change anything. Between one bell to the next, simply observe. Eyes are closed. The back is straight but not stiff. The back, neck and head are in a straight line. Your attention is on the breath. Gently, with love, observe your breath. Keep the attention unwavering on the breath, filled with love. Relax. When I ask you to observe something with love, bring your attention to your heart in the center of the chest, and then see as if all the nervous communication is between your eyes and your heart without being observed or decoded by the brain. See with your heart. It sounds vague and mystical, but you know it when you try it. Open your heart and see directly into your heart. Now we're going to observe our breath again, very closely with love. Observing the breath. As you breathe in, feel the energy that's coming into the body. As you breathe in with the intention of sending the breath energy through the entire body. As you breathe in your breath into the entire body, your arms, your legs. As you breathe into your arms, legs, hands, feet, fingers and toes. As you breathe in, imagining yourself to be an empty balloon animal shaped just like you. Imagining as you're breathing in that you're filling this empty balloon animal with incoming energy. Breathing in, feel the energy puff you up fully into your shape. Sending the breath to your hands, your feet, the tips of your fingers, the tips of your toes. As you breathe in this stuff of life into this empty balloon animal shaped just like you. As you breathe out, just relax and let the wave of relaxation pass through your entire body. Breathing in, fill in the balloon animal with new energy. Breathing out, feel the waves of relaxation. Now slow down your breath, still maintaining this pattern. Now let go. Let go of your breath. Just relax your awareness for a moment. Now, we'll repeat, this time going directly into observing the inside of your body. Imagining your body to be an empty shell, just like a balloon animal filled with air. Bring your awareness to the entire body, feeling the outer surface to be a thin skin, but filled with emptiness inside. As you breathe in and out gently, imagine your body to be empty space. Filling in the space that's separated from the world through a thin layer of skin and cloth. Watching the body space and observing the settling down of thoughts. Watching the body space and observing the settling down of thoughts. Watching the body space and observing the settling down of thoughts. We're ready to move to the next step. If you still have your empty cup in your hands, feel the warmth. And now, place the cup on the table in front of you. Place the cup directly in front of you, so you may observe it directly. Blinking, open your eyes and let the eyes gaze settle gently on the empty cup on the table in front of you. Let the gaze settle gently on the cup. The eyes are soft and the gaze is filled with gentle, loving care. Observe the different aspects of the cup. With your fingers, trace out the rim slowly and methodically. Seeing the rim as if for the first time, carefully observing the handle of the cup, the sides of the cup. See the shape of the handle. See the shadows of the light. See the shadows the light will cast on the table around the cup. Now bring your attention to the top rim of the cup. Let your eyes sit on the rim for a while. Take in the circular shape of the rim. See the hard edges of the rim. Now, let the attention move into the cup. See all the way to the bottom of the cup, inside. Let the eyes settle into the cup in a way that you can see the depth and curvature of the cup. Begin to feel the inside shape of the empty cup. There's going to be a transformation as you begin to see the inside of the cup with gentle, loving eyes. Feel intuitively the space inside the cup. Let that space come to life. Gazing softly, feel the inside shape of the empty cup all at one go. See the entire inside of the cup all at one go. Your awareness is now cup-shaped. Continue to breathe softly and gaze inside the empty cup, watching the entire empty space at one go. All at one go. All at one go. All at one go. Keep looking, breathing in softly. If you can see the entire emptiness at one go. Staying with the same gaze, you might notice that the rim of the cup, don't look at it, has become soft and diffused. Keep looking at the emptiness of the cup. If you can see the entire emptiness at one go, and it has a definite shape. You might begin to see the full shape, a curved, deep cup shape that fills the inside of the empty cup. Keep the awareness soft. Feel the inside intuitively and continue to look intently. The transformation is beginning to complete itself out. You may begin to feel the form of the inner cup more clearly, more distinctly, and feel it distinctly away, apart from the cup. Don't try too hard. Now you may begin to see the top flat surface of the inner cup more clearly and more distinctly. Don't try too hard. You might begin to feel that the emptiness inside the cup is not quite empty, that it is filled with a certain something. Breathing softly, continue to gaze into the cup. The rim edge of the cup is soft, and you can feel a distinctly clear inner cup inside the physical cup that you see on the table. घटाधिभाजने दृष्टिं भित्तिस्त्यक्त्वा विनिक्षिपेत् तल्लयं तत्क्षणात् गत्वा तल्लयात् तन्मयो भवेत्. One should fix his sight on the empty space inside the pot, leaving aside the enclosing structure. Thus, the pot being gone, the mind will at once be dissolved into the space. Through that laya, the mind becomes completely absorbed in the void. Through that dissolution, the mind becomes completely absorbed in the void. We are now ready to come out. Blink your eyes gently. Hard problems are hard only because we are seeing the hard edges of perceivable data. Now, if we learn to soften our gaze, we can see the interconnections of the hidden form. Hard problems can become soft, malleable problems of emptiness and form. Painters know it, artists know it, architects know it. Everyone who creates in this world knows that emptiness often carries more meaning than the data of hardness. Practicing this technique and being able to see the emptiness inside the cup and carrying that intuitive vision back to your workplace will allow you to be more creative, more intuitive, and also be a little more relaxed, because hard problems are hard because we are not looking yet at the soft interconnections behind everything. Hard problems, big goals can become easy goals once you're able to see all the emptiness that connects. Now, this is a technique from the 5,000-year-old ancient Tantra text called Vigyan Bhairav Tantra. And I was introduced to this text way back in college. I used to be in college. I bought this exact book. This is a 1957 book called Zen Flesh and Zen Bones by Paul Reps. Paul Reps was this guy, Western guy, who went to India and into the Himalayas, and he gathered all the Zen stories. He went to China, he went to Japan, I think. He also went to India, he went to Kashmir, and he met Lakshmanju, who was a great proponent of Kashmir Shaivism. And Lakshmanju told him about Vigyan Bhairav Tantra. So right in this book, which is a wonderful thin book, there are a few pages of this text translated into English. This particular technique was translated as, look upon a bowl without seeing the sides of the material. In a few moments, become aware. End quote. Now, today's sitting, I wanted to make sure we do it within 20 minutes, so we have time for reflection and feedback. Now, before I turn it to you to tell me how you felt, I'd like to ask you a question. When we buy a house, do we buy the walls or do we buy the empty spaces inside the walls? What carries more meaning and value to you as you live in a place that you call home? And so how do you see a house? Do you see the bare walls or do you see the space inside it? And if you see the space, do you see it disjointed in parts or do you see the space at one go? And can you see the space at one go? Those are some questions that you might want to think about. Now I'd like to ask you to unmute yourself and really share what your observations were, if you'd like. Yes, please go ahead. You can unmute yourself and talk.
Gauraji, what I could see was when I was doing the cup, first I saw the rim and it was like a circle. But then slowly, my vision, when you said focus on the inside, it kind of became like it was a white cup, it kind of became like a creamish ball in my eye, the space. And it kind of started to swell, and it was a very good feeling personally for me to see that kind of vision, which I never anticipated.
Yes.
So I could really tell what you meant by seeing the space inside the cup, or maybe inside the pot, or like just now the very good analogy of the house and the home.
Yeah, thank you. Now the interesting thing here is it's a tantra technique. Of course, all sorts of modern miscommunication happens on what that word is. But the word itself, if you know Hindi, you know the following thing. You said when someone sits like this, you say in Hindi, "Chhati taan kar baithe hain." So that is, they have expanded their chest and they're sitting like this, right? Tana, to pull something, to extend something is tana. When you make a cloth, it's tana bana, right? So you pull the weft and the weave, right? So the warp and the weft, whatever. So the pulling is what tantra is. And the interesting thing is, whatever your attention goes to, that begins to expand. That's the insight. And that you can apply to an empty cup. You can apply to the tip of your nose, which is another technique. You can apply to anything, but usually this works against us. Because usually what grows with attention is everything you watch on social media, everything you read in the press, everything you're getting on your WhatsApp, which is all negative news, because that's what news is. It's just negative news. And so what grows with attention is all this trouble and tension. So those begin to become monstrous, large, and sort of menacing, because we are feeding them with our attention, and they continue to balloon out into larger and larger relative space. The insight here is you can as well apply the same expansion to your advantage. An empty cup, a happy thought, a good place, you can expand anything you like with your attention. And through that, you can counter all the negativity that's going on around the world. It's very easy. You can do that with an empty cup like we just did today. So thank you for that observation. Any other observation? Did anybody else have any challenges or any breakthrough or insights or any observations that you have?
Namaste, Gauraji. This is Krishna.
Krishnaji, namaskar.
Yeah. So I just want to ask, how this places in serious meditators, who can meditate anywhere, you don't need any particular thing to stick on, hold on or clutch on. Okay.
Sure. Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. So what about experienced meditators? So this part, the beginning with an object. This is the entire yoga system, right? We did asana, which is we adjusted our posture. Then we did pranayam, which is we adjusted our breath. Then we did pratyahara by drawing the attention inwards. Then dharana, we held our attention. Today we held our attention in a cup. But dharan karna, which is they say in Hindi, right? You can hold your attention into anything. And another technique I teach is the tip of the nose, which is the technique that Buddha taught as part of Vipassana. But dharan, to hold something with your awareness, is dharana. But then the real game begins after that, which is dhyana. Which is dharana is basically like a focused beam of light. You're observing a very direct thing. But soon this diffuse lightness begins to appear, where all awareness is illuminated, not just an object. That is dhyana. And dhyana is like the sun before the sunrise. So the sky is illuminated, you can see things, but there's no direct pinpoint of sunlight. So when experienced meditators can get to the dhyana stage any which way. You can look at the tip of the nose, the turning of the breath at the top, the turning at the bottom. These are all, by the way, 112 techniques, right? All of these are ways to get there. The Om chanting that we do often, the chanting of Om at each of the chakras, each of those are techniques that experienced meditators can follow. Usually, in meditation schools, a teacher picks the approach that works for them, and then that's the approach they teach to their followers, because it works for them. Their intuition is very strong, and someone who takes the teaching from them absorbs the intuition, and that's why they learn only one or two techniques, but many more techniques exist, and that's what we're learning here. Now, experienced meditators can get to that dhyan stage with pretty much anything once you've done it enough times. Thank you for that question. Any other question or observations?
Thank you, Guruji, for that. Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste. Any other questions or observations? How does this... Rajuji, namaskar.
Namaskar. So I was trying to find, when going through this, trying to find the emptiness in the cup. Where is the emptiness in the cup? Trying to figure it out. But
Yeah.
then I found that my vision expanded, and then I see emptiness everywhere. Everywhere outside me is empty. There's nothing outside. Why should I look inside the cup to find the emptiness? I can find emptiness in the whole universe. I can find emptiness in my mind. I can find emptiness everywhere.
That's beautiful.
To just add that, Guruji, remember Rajuji is a satellite engineer, okay, so that's why he's seeing the emptiness and space everywhere. Just like
Yeah. So, Rajuji, that is a beautiful observation. So, that emptiness, you will realize, isn't just inside the cup. It has a definite shape and form, that emptiness. But this entire universe, inside and outside, is filled with the same substance. But it's not empty. It's filled with a certain something. That certain something is the stuff of life. Your awareness, your chitta, is being sort of poured into the space that you're looking at. And so that's a really great observation. Thank you very much for sharing. Yeah, the Buddhist system, they call it shunyata. I talked about it a couple of days ago. And when they translate it into English, Western Buddhism, they translate it as emptiness. Shunyata is not emptiness. Shunyata can also mean infinity. Shunya can also mean everything. So if you just call it emptiness, they say, well, this is about emptiness, and and it has to be nothing. Nothing and everything are really analogous in this case. So when you see everything takes the shape, same experience, right, of not having physical form, just being your mind space. That experience leads to viveka, discrimination, which is you're now able to discriminate that hard things are only appearing hard, but really there's a certain liveliness or consciousness that pervades everything. So that viveka leads to vairagya, because now you're no longer, viveka is discrimination, vairagya is detachment. Detachment comes when you realize that hard things are not quite there. The hard things don't carry any meaning. The real meaning is in all the emptiness that's inside and outside and everywhere. And so then your attachment to things and objects ceases automatically, because what is there to be attached to? Everything is empty. Everything is devoid of material reality, right? There's no materiality to anything now. Everything is just your consciousness.
It appears to me that the emptiness is fullness. Everything is full.
Yeah.
It's empty.
Yes. And that is the great insight of all the sages that came in the Indian tradition. So, when you look at Ishavasya Upanishad, the main, one of the first and shloka is Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avashishyate. It's all about fullness. From fullness comes fullness. When you remove fullness from fullness, fullness still remains. Infinity and zero both have the same property. And that's the insight of the tradition. And that's why shunyata, if you reduce shunyata to just nothingness, then everything becomes nothing. Nothing remains. There's no value in it. And that's why I find that Western Buddhism is going to lead to some, very strange consequences eventually. Because there's no meaning, there's no joy, there's no life in anything. Everything is devoid of anything. That's not the insight that the Buddha had. And certainly I hope that in today's sitting, that's not the insight you got when you looked at emptiness directly. Any other questions or observations? Great. All right. Now I'm just going to.
I have a question.
Yes,
observation,
Amit. Yes.
and this is something. So, first of all, it was a great session. Just to let you know, it was very enjoyable and into it. So when you are in the emptiness, so say you've gone into the emptiness, settling there, then the barrier, the glass wall, the sides of the glass, may break suddenly or may still be there, and you can see through the walls, through the emptiness all around, as Rajuji and others are saying. Now, have you seen others when they go through that? It's like as if it's like a sound barrier of material something, and your emptiness is coming from inside out. And just like when the planes hit the sound barrier, there's a boom, right? There's a sonic boom. Have you or others have experienced some kind of a boom going penetrating through the glass or any barrier? And this emptiness can be done with anything, including yourself, your own hollow inside. So just to know if others have experienced anything of that nature.
Yeah. So sounds. So the sounds as an experience that arises out of these meditation practices. That's very common in the tradition, right? Where it happens to people. They hear different sounds. My sounds are different. And Anhat Chakra, the whole thing is that there is this unstruck gong type sound or a bell type sound or a rhythm that you hear and sense inside that comes from this chakra. Those are all experiences. People, different experience. Your mileage may vary. Different people have different experiences. So I wouldn't prejudice you with my own experiences here, but that is true. It does happen, and you may hear it. Some people don't hear it, and there's nothing to worry. But one is the heard sound. You will hear sounds. The other is your experience itself begins to mutate and transform. And that's the thing I also wanted to say, that even if you see the space, as I hope most of you did, if you see a space, your scientific mind is going to question and judge your observation, because clearly it's empty, there's nothing there, and yet you see something filled with life, filled with vitality. And so you both see it and question it at the same time. And that observation, that you see forms and yet you know that there is no basis or in reality for these forms. That's a very common observation after the Dhyan stage, as you know, right? Which is things have shape and form, but they don't have any independent meaning. There is a cup, but the cup is not different from the table or from this hand or this self. Everything is just one. And that feeling of oneness.
Yeah, so I have talked to a lot of meditators on similar techniques, and so some people, the something dissolves very smoothly, and for some people, in the moment of that dissolution is a big bang. So I was kind of trying to poll what are the experience sets of other people who have gone through this experience.
So it doesn't happen every time, but so the other experiences are also common, but it doesn't happen every sitting. It's not that you happen and then you've crossed over to the other side, and there's every time either a sound or an experience. But those experiences are common, and so in my case as well, that I would confirm that things like that happen. Again, I don't want to get into detail on a public forum, but yes, yeah.
Oh.
Again, and part of that is you don't want to prejudice people. Their own experiences will be different. If you don't hear a bell, don't worry. You will get the Nobel Prize. Great. Okay. If there are no more questions or observations, then we can close today's session with the closing prayers of Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina. So please join me. Sit with your back straight, back, neck and head in a straight line. Close your eyes gently and relax the expression on the face. Bring your palms together in Namaskar Mudra. We're going to chant Om once and then the closing prayers, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina. Exhale completely. Take a deep breath. Inhale. Inhale, then chant. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Rub your palms together to generate some heat and gently cup your eyeballs to transfer that heat. And then blinking, open your eyes and pull your palms back like an open book. Namaskar. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a great evening. Thank you.
Namaste, Gauri.
Thank you.
Thank you.